Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So now, thank you, Kartikeya Prabhu, for inviting me, and it's always a pleasure to meet with devotees and speak Krishna Katha. In fact, that is the life of a devotee, that we constantly get opportunities to describe and glorify the ultimate personality of Godhead. And specifically this section of the pastime of Ajamil is very, very nice section, where I like it very much because it's very much related to the holy name. And in the beginning days of my Krishna consciousness, so we used to have many times a seminar on this particular section, and we are not knowing much about the glories of this particular section, but no, we didn't even know like why this section has been taken again and again. So, but then later, we could able to understand this is because this section is related to the holy name, and the devotees who were training us, they wanted to like make us more attached to the holy name. So in that way, this is a very, very special section. So we are in the 6th canto, 1st chapter, shloka number 47. From there we will start, and we will proceed. We will see like how much we can actually cover today. Vartamanonyayo kalo guna vignapako yatha evam jigam nayor etad dharma nidarshanam. Just as springtime in the present indicates the nature of springtime in the past and future, so this life of happiness and distress, and or a mixture of both, gives evidence concerning the religious and irreligious activities of one's past and future lives. Purport: our past and future are not very difficult to understand, for time is under the contamination of the three modes of material nature. As soon as a spring arrives, the usual exhibition of various types of fruits and flowers automatically become manifest, and therefore we may conclude that spring in the past was adorned with similar fruits and flowers and will be so adorned in the future also. Our repetition of birth and death is taking place within time, and according to the influence of modes of nature, we are receiving various types of bodies and being subjected to various conditions. So it's a very nice shloka. We can see that by the fruits, we can actually understand what kind of a season that is in current. And by the experience of the current season, we can actually safely determine what it would have been in the future, or what it will be in the past. Sorry, what it could have been in the past and what it will be in the future. So all this is easily ascertainable for us just by seeing the fruits, just by testing the current. There is nothing that is so very special that existed in the past, and there is nothing that is so very special that's going to happen in the future. So it's going to be the very same thing. It's going to be the very same three modes of nature. The mode of goodness is going to act in the same way. The mode of passion is going to act in the same way. And mode of ignorance is also going to act in the same way. One amazing thing about this material nature is that, even though the very same stale experience of material nature is there, so there is somehow, like, there is a lot of enthusiasm, created by the illusion that the living entities doesn't want to get out of this illusion, and constantly they're merged in this illusory existence of the material existence. So okay, so this is the nature of the material existence. So now we'll continue to read the further shlokas. The past, this religious, about religious and irreligious activities of one's past and future lives. So nothing much special about the three modes of nature. It is the same old story, reinventing the same wheel, that's going on. So text 48, Manasaiva pure dehaha purva rupam vipaschati anumima sathe purvam manasa bhagavanajah. The omnipotent Emeraj is as good as Lord Brahma, for while situated in his own abode in everyone's heart, like the Paramatma, he mentally observes the past activities of the living entity and thus understands how the living entity will act in the future. So there are certain entities who are all pervasive, who are all cognizant. So we have this definition of the Supreme Lord, Janma Dyasha Tonvayad Itaratas Charteshva Abhignaswarat Thene Brahma Hridaya Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinimayo Yatrat Sargo Mrisha Damna Svena Sada Nirastakohakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Right? So this is a definition of the absolute truth. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with this definition. So right at the outset, Srimad Bhagavatam, actually Vyasadeva, he declares, so this is the Satyam Param, this is the absolute truth, about whom we are going to discuss. And what is that absolute truth? It is not a vague, this one, oh my God is great. No, it's not like that. It's very, very detailed, very precise definition of the absolute truth. So Janma Adesha Yato, like Yataha means from whom comes the Janmadi. Janmadi means like a creation, maintenance, and destruction. So he is the master of creation, maintenance, and destruction. And then Anvaya Ditaratas Cha Arteshva Abhignya. No, he is cognizant of everything that is happening, both directly and indirectly. And then Swarat. So like that. So the Supreme Lord has many wonderful aspects with which he is defined. So one of the aspect is abhignya. He is like cognizant of things. The cognizant aspect of the Lord. He is aware of everything that is happening everywhere. Sometimes people have this question: does God know what I'm going through? Of course, no. Like before we know what we are going through, God definitely knows what we are going through. So this is abhignya. So this is a very, very important quality. And this quality is not just, the Lord is supremely cognizant of everything that is happening in every nook and corner of the entire creation. So, but this power is being delegated to various entities in the material world also. Like Lord Shiva, he can also function, in tandem or in equal powers with Paramatma in terms of cognizance, in terms of many different aspects. And here we see even Lord Brahma, even Lord Brahma. So when Krishna was playing this Krishna was playing this like cowherd pastimes. So Lord Brahma appeared, and then he wanted to test the Lord, Supreme Lord. He stole away all the calves and he stole away all the cowherd boys of Krishna. And then he came back after some time and he saw that the calves and cowherd boys are still there. How is it possible? No, there is nothing possibly happen without the cognizance of Lord Brahma within the creation, within this universe. There is nothing possible to happen. Brahma is completely cognizant of everything. And still, right under his nose, right in his creation, here there is a miracle that has happened, where something has happened which Brahma is not aware of. It is beyond his cognizance. So then he could able to understand, oh, he is that person who has delegated the cognizance, power of cognizance to me. No, he is that person who is here, who can do even like who can even circumvent my cognitive power. Right? So that is the amazing aspect of the Supreme Lord. He is fully cognizant, but he also gives this power of cognizance to certain personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and here we see that Yamaraj, just to know, he has to do his job of giving the law and order, giving the justice to all the living entities in the world. So he needs to have this cognizant power, and that comes from the Paramatma. No, he actually gives this one. So, like he mentally observes the past activities of the living entity and thus understands how the living entity will act in the future lives. So, all this is known. Purport. One should not consider Emeraj an ordinary living being. He is as good as Lord Brahma. He has the complete cooperation of the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart, and therefore, by the grace of the Super Soul, he can see the past, present, and future of a living entity, of a living being from within. So I always like this point, by the grace of the Super Soul, or by the grace of the Supreme Lord. So this, in our last Bhakti Shastri session, I am very, very indebted to the teacher, his name is Vamshivadan Prabhu. He stressed upon this aspect in the 9th chapter, this aspect of the grace of the Supreme Lord. It's very, very important thing. So we all want to progress in Krishna consciousness. We all want to advance in the process of chanting. We want to go deeper. Kali Kale, Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar, Kali Yuga Dharma Nama Sankirtan, right? So we want to progress, in this Kali Yuga Dharma, the Dharma that is there, like that is to chant the names of the Lord. And how can we actually chant the names of the Lord clearly? And how can we actually progress? It requires grace of the Lord. Grace of the Lord. For us, the Lord means the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, Panchatattva, and the Supreme Lord, like in the form of the Hare Krishna mantra. So we need to have the grace of them. So we can understand that from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, Yadyad Vibhuti Mat Sattvam Srimaturjavameva. Right? So anything, any Vibhuti, any power that exists in this world, so we can immediately understand like Mama Teja Amsa Sambhava. Right? So this Amsha, this Vibhuti or this power that is there in this material creation, be it material or spiritual, like our material strength, our material intelligence, or material capacities, including them, and also spiritually, like our perfection in chanting, our perfection in understanding the scriptures. All these things, how it happens? By the grace of the Lord, right? So without the grace of the Lord, nothing we can move. Be it material or spiritual, nothing we can move actually. So it requires, like for perfection of anything, it requires the grace of the Lord. So it is very, very important. So here also we see that Yamaraj is having the cognitive power because of the grace of the Super Soul. It's very, very nice. So the original owner of this power is the Supreme Lord. And if somebody has to have this power, he needs to have the grace of the owner of the power, right? So that is how it is. So anything that we see, we see that sun is there. It is like giving so much wonderful light. And even our tube light is also giving so much wonderful light. So what is the source of this light? The source of this light is Brahma Jyoti. That's the ultimate source of all the light that is present. And that source of the Brahma Jyoti is Brahmanohi Pratishtaham, the Supreme Lord. So in this way, everything is owned and controlled. Ishavashamidam sarvam etkincham jagatyam jagat tena taktena bunjita magrada kashyasviddanam. Everything that exists is owned and controlled by the Supreme Lord. Right? So it's a very important fact. And if I have something, if I'm able to see, that means it is by the grace of the Lord. If I'm able to speak, that means it is by the grace of the Lord. If I'm able to think something, like some intellectual thought, that means it is by the grace of the Lord. We can actually see the grace of the Lord at every moment. So if Lord is so merciful, if Lord has graced upon us so many things, the basic facilities in our life, so why not He will not grace upon us the intensity in the bhakti, intensity in the process of chanting? Definitely He will grace. He's our loving Father. He's our loving master. Why He will not give? He will definitely give. We just need to ask for it. It's a very, very important thing. So He's very merciful, but we need to go and ask for the right thing. So he'll be very happy to give us. No? Okay. And then here we see that Yamaraj, like he can see the past, present, and future of living beings from within. The word Anumi Mam Sathe means that he can decide in consultation with the super soul. Anu means following. Actual decisions concerning the next lives of the living entities are made by the super soul and they are carried out by Yamaraj. So, like Anumi Mam Sathe. So here, let's see he considers, or here in this place it is mentioned, he can decide in consultation with the super soul. This word Anu is a very, very important word, and it has been used in many places. No, like Anukirtanam. No, it's one place, one usage of this word. Here we see that here Yamaraj is taking decisions, but the word Anu is used. That means he is not independently taking decision. He is completely in sync with the super soul. Now, whatever decision he is making, he is either following in the footsteps of the Supreme Lord, or he is in complete consultation with the Supreme Lord. He is in complete sync with the Supreme Lord. There is no chance of his going wrong. No, in his this one. So Anukirtanam. So it's a very important thing for us. So Prabhupada had stressed upon this very much, like Anukirtanam, as it is. The principle of as it is comes from there. Anukirtanam means describing the glories of the Lord, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, following in the revealed scriptures, following in the footsteps of the Supreme Lord as he has revealed himself in Bhagavad Gita. So that is called Anukirtanam, to describe about the Lord, to describe about the glories of devotional service as it is done in the parampara, as it is done by the great liberated souls. So that must be done. So that is called Anukirtanam, or this word Anu is a very, very important thing. So in our parampara, so when we surrender ourselves in the process of Krishna consciousness to a spiritual master, take initiation and practice bhakti, so this word Anu means a lot for us. So because we are followers, Anugata, Anuja, like Anuja means one who follows the elder brother is called Anuja, the younger brother, right? Anugata is like to follow in the footsteps or to follow in the teachings of the previous acharyas. So this is very, very important. So this here we see that Yamaraj, being a very confidential servitor of the Lord, he is completely in sync with the Supreme Lord in the form of Paramatma, and he is following whatever decisions he makes. It's foolproof because he is Anumimam Sathe. No, he is deciding in consultation with the Supreme Lord. Right. So the actual decision concerning the next lives of the living entities are made by the Super Soul, and they are carried out by Yamaraj, and it happens seamlessly. It happens very, very nicely. Text 49. Yatagnyas tamasa yukta upasthe yuktameva hi na veda purvam aparam nashtad janma smritistatha. As a sleeping person acts according to the body manifested in his dreams and accept it to be himself, so one identifies with his present body, which he acquired because of his past religious or irreligious actions, and is unable to know his past or future lives. So here, nice example is taken. In the dreams, whatever one sees, he accepts it as himself. And he is not aware of the reality of existence, what was there before. And he is not aware of what's going to happen if the dream gets over. So in the same way, like we are also in the material world, we are completely in ignorance. And there is no question of where I was there and what I was doing. And there is no question of or fear of like what happens in the future lives. In fact, people go to the extent of committing suicide, so thinking that there is so much of problem in this life, and if I commit suicide, that ends all the problems. So there is no question or there is no fear that I'm going to get into another unknown zone. I'm going to get into another unknown life. So what's going to happen there? So because there is complete ignorance, the living entity is not able to see his past and he is not able to see his future. He is completely absorbed in his present. So if we see that in his present means the present condition, the present, like if we completely are in present tense, then that means we are liberated and spiritual. So it is not talking about that kind of a present tense. So it is talking about the lamentation and hankering, which is very, very temporary, which is very, very what is that? At this point in time, I'm tormented by some problems. At this point in time, I have some dreams. Have I considered what's going to happen in the future, or have I taken into account what has happened in the past? So, no, am I doing it with knowledge, no, to attain the Supreme Lord? So all these parameters makes, no, whether it is like controlled by the three modes of nature, or it is no controlled by the spiritual direction. So now we see that a person in the mode of ignorance, his broadness in the thought process is very, very narrow. And a person in the mode of goodness, he has a very, very broad vision. You know, he considers a lot in the past and he considers a lot in the future. But he's not hankering and lamenting about the future and past, but he's like considering them. And then no, he's actually trying to progress very nicely in the Krishna consciousness. But a person in the mode of ignorance, if we see, no, he's so much worried about right now I have this problem. That's all. So he is not having so much of futuristic thought that what is your goal in life? Zero. Like there will not be any goal. And if you ask a person in mode of passion, he will have a goal which is very transient. Which is he's not idealist. He has a goal, but he has a goal of I need to have a bungalow, I need to have car, I need to have so much of wealth and stuff like that. That's mode of passion. And person in a mode of goodness, he sees that anyway I'm going to leave this body and go. No, anyway I'm not belonging to this body. No, I have to think about something which is permanent. So he loses interest in the transient, in the temporary material things, right? So this is how their broadness in the thought process actually increases. So when the in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness, and in spiritual practitioners, their broadness is even more broader. So they think that ultimately the thing is that I have to become servant of Krishna, and I'll be transferred to the place where Krishna is there, to a place which is conducive for rendering service to Lord Krishna. And I'll have to be there. So then what's the point of this taking these material things too seriously? And whatever is needed, whatever is exactly, just a minute. I have to hand over this phone to somebody. I will just give me some 1 minute. I'll just come back. Hi Krishna, I'm sorry. So, we were discussing about this broadness in the thought process. So, in the mode of ignorance, the thought process becomes very, very narrow. In the mode of goodness, the thought process becomes quite widened. And a Krishna conscious person practicing bhakti, his thought process becomes very, very wider. He has a very broad perspective of life, right? So now we see that the people in the material world, by nature, they're afflicted by the mode of ignorance, and because of which they cannot think about the past and they cannot think about the future. So their focus is quite narrowed down, because of the influence of the mode of ignorance. Purport: a man engages in sinful activities because he does not know what he did in the past life to get his present materially conditioned body, which is subjected to threefold miseries. So many times people ask this question, that if I don't know about the past life and I'm doing the same mistake again and again, why the clarity is not given to me? If the clarity about my past life is given, I would have not done this mistake. No. So, like, actually, the rule of the game, that we have entered into is that the mode of ignorance, the modes of material nature, they are actually like covering. So more we get involved in the actions and reactions of the modes of material nature, just like Arjuna asked, Atakhena prayuktoyam papam charati purusha anichan abhivarshneya baladiva niyojita. So he asked this question to Krishna, that I don't want to do something wrong. I've been forced, as if by force, I've been forced to get into doing something wrong. What is it? What is that power that is actually pushing me to do this wrong? So that Krishna says, Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhava mahashano mahapapma vidyanam iha vairinam. So this Vairina, this enemy, our Nitya Vairina, is in the form of lust. And this lust, how does it function? And then, this actually our not able to remember that next this ones, but I'll explain in the English. We see that Krishna explains this enemy, Nitya Vairina, the eternal enemy, he actually sits in three places: mind, intelligence, and the senses. And what does he do by sitting in these three places? What does this lust do by sitting in these three places? He covers the intelligence of the living entity. That's the job that he does. So this enemy called lust, which is the representative of the whole list: lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion, and stuff like that. So the six enemies. So they actually sit in these strategic places, and then their job is to cover the intelligence of the living entity. So this is how our thought process is becoming narrowed down. So when we purify our consciousness, when we say like we want to become purified, what we actually mean is that mind, intelligence, and senses should become freed from this lust, anger, greed, envy, pride. So, what is the effect of it? So, these are the agents through which the material nature can control us. And if we can destroy this by engaging our mind, intelligence, and senses in the service of the Lord, so then the material nature cannot control us, because its representative in these strategic positions are completely knocked off, and the material nature cannot do anything. And the covering is gone, then our perspective becomes broader. If the covering is there, then our perspective becomes weaker. So it is not about somebody is giving me, like, of course there is the demigods and the supreme lord are in charge. They are in control. So but the game is that I earn my broadness or narrowness. No, it is not why I don't remember my past. Somebody may say, oh, okay, matta smritir jnanam apohanam. So Lord did not give me remembrance. I'm not having remembrance. So then the next question is, Lord has given remembrance to many other people. The great souls, the liberated souls, they're able to see everything. So why am I not? Why I am not able to see? Because of my past deeds. No, I have done so much sinful activities. I have been such a sinful person that I have got so much of covering of lust, anger, greed, envy, pride in me, and because of which my intelligence have become quite narrowed down. I'm not able to think in a broad terms, right? So this is the problem. So this is what is like mentioned here very nicely. you know like as a sleeping person acts according to the body, body manifested in dreams and accepted to be himself, so one identifies with the present body which he has acquired because of his past religious and religious action, and he is unable to know his past and future lives. So it is because of the ignorance that is there. No, that's come into this one. So the man engages in sinful activities because he does not know what he did in his past life to get his present materially conditioned body, which is subjected to threefold miseries. So why he doesn't know? Because of the fact that he's covered, his intelligence is covered. And who's the culprit? Is the demigods the culprit or the Supreme Lord the culprit? Why I am not able to know? Because I have done sinful activities in the past, and that has covered my intelligence completely. So more sinful activity, more the covering of lust, more the covering of anger, more the covering of like this greed, illusion, and pride and stuffs like that. So if somebody is very proud, that means no, we know like it is a lot of sin that has gone into the system. If somebody is like very narrow in their thought process, very dull, no, we can know that no, it's a lot of sin has gone into the system. So that is how it is. It has happened like that. Okay. As stated by Rishabhadev in Srimad Bhagavatam 554, Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma, a human being who's mad after sense gratification does not hesitate to act sinfully. Yet indriya pritaya pranoti. He performs sinful actions simply for sense gratification. Na sadhu manye. This is not good. Yata atmanoyam asannapi kleshada asadeha. Because of such sinful actions, one receive another body in which to suffer as he is suffering in the present body because of his past sinful activities. So somebody may ask, like, what is the solution? This is looking like a vicious circle. No, if I commit sin, what is the benefit of it? I will get more ignorance. So if I get more ignorance, will I not commit sin? No, more ignorance means I'll commit more sins. And like, what's the benefit of that? So again, I'll get into more ignorance and again, I'll commit more sins. So this looks like a very, very vicious cycle. In fact, that is the trigger with which the sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam started. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was explained in the fifth canto that how a living entity goes through the hellish condition of life. And Parikshit Maharaj, after hearing this explanation, he was like completely broken, saying that what is the solution? How these living entities can be saved? No, how will they ever see the light of the day? No, the spiritual light. The spiritual light means the knowledge. The light means to have a proper darshan of the Lord. So when will they ever be able to see? No, Tesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam the dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridavita. So until unless my sin is completely eradicated, I will not be able to fix myself in the process of bhakti. I will never get Dridhavrata. So, and a sinful person, it's only his actions are so corrupted, he cannot do anything pious, he cannot do anything proper, and he is only going to fall, fall and fall. No, he's only going to bury his own, what is it, dig his own grave, and nothing more he can actually do. So it seems like a very, very very bad system indeed, right? So this system is just going to make people suffer. So what is the scope for anybody to come out of this thing? So this is the mood of a Vaishnav. He's not he's not thinking though, oh, this guy was sinful, like no, he should get this. He's not thinking in that way. He's thinking that what is the way out? How will these people be saved? How will these people be like, they will ever get an opportunity to render service to the Supreme Lord? So this is the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. And then Shukadev Goswami actually starts this whole narration about this Ajamil, about the power of the holy name, how the Lord sends his confidential devotees to spread the holy name all around the world. And by the power of the holy name, one can actually like get out of this particular this one problem of unending cycle of ignorance. The holy name can cut through all these things, and holy name can actually offer a person liberation. A holy name can actually offer a person his perfection in the spiritual practice. Everything is possible. The holy name is so powerful, right? So here we see that like the very same thing is mentioned. The human being is mad after sense gratification and does not hesitate to act sinfully, and then he performs sinful actions simply for sense gratification, and this is not good. And then because of such sinful actions, one receive another body in which to suffer as he is suffering in the present body. So this is a very nice Sanskrit. Kleshada ashadeva. No, the means in Hindi we can easily understand. The means deneka, it's to give, right? So kleshada, no, so dadati, no, dadati pratigranati, no, like dadami, buddhi yoham tam, no, like Lord is telling, dadami means like I am going to give. So in the same way, this da is something to denote that, like giving. So klesha means what? Misery, no, and deha, this body that we cherish a lot. No, for this body, to protect this body, we do so many things. And what is the role of this body? This role of this body is kleshada. No, this role of the body is to give miseries. No, so that is how, like, this body is designed to give miseries to us. So whatever sins we have performed, whatever karma that we have got, this body is the deliverer of these karma to us. So this is going to be kleshada asha deha. So, and based on my activities, I'm going to get many more kleshada asha deha, many more bodies which are going to give me suffering, right? So that is why, like a devotee, has a completely different outlook of this body. A devotee sees that, of course, this body is a kleshada. No, it is going to be the deliverer of my misery. And like, what's the point of getting this misery? Oh, if I get this misery, my karma is going to get eradicated. And if my karma is eradicated, then I will be able to have a clear darshan of the Lord, right? So that's a very nice thing. And then also, though this body is anityam, ashukam, and there is a very nice shloka which describes this particular point. Even though this body is so miserable, this body is designed for giving us misery, but still, one good thing is I can use this body to advance in Krishna consciousness. That's the amazing thing, So that's the arthadam, in that particular shloka which I'm referring to. It is mentioned as arthadam. This is very, very beneficial. This can actually, arthada, kleshada is one thing, and then arthada is another thing. So kleshada means this body is the deliverer of my sufferings, and arthada means this body can give me my perfection. This body, I can use this body for proceeding towards perfection. So it's also a tool. It's also arthada. It's not just the kleshada. So in that way, we can see that this point of sense gratification and this vicious circle a person is actually caught up in, it actually gives him more and more sinful lives. Okay, it should be understood that a person who does not have a Vedic knowledge always acts in ignorance of what he has done in the past, what he is doing in the present, and how he will suffer in the future. He is completely in darkness. Therefore, the Vedic injunction is tamasi ma, don't remain in darkness. Jyotir gama, try to go to the light. So that is this is the instruction, and we see that practically, this has happened in our life by the intervention of some devotee. For many people, this has happened in our life by the intervention of some WhatsApp message, which was which was speaking about Gita course, right? So that is the point of Tamasima Jyotirgama, for most of us. And like, we see that this is the Vedic injunction that we have to give up the mode of ignorance and we have to proceed towards the light. Light means knowledge. Light means the understanding of the Supreme Lord. Light means no sense control. No, it means a lot of things. No, in the philosophical term. So this Jyotirgama means, like, it means a lot. No, it means awakening the Krishna consciousness, right? So the light or illumination is Vedic knowledge, which one can understand when he is elevated to the mode of goodness, or when he transcends the mode of goodness by engaging in devotional service to the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord. This is described in Shvetashvatara Upanishad 623. Yasya deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru tashyete katita hi artha prakashante mahatmanaha. So here we see that how this knowledge can be brought about. So this knowledge can be brought about by Yasya deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru. So one should have intense devotion towards the Supreme Lord, Deve, and then in the same way, Yata Deve, what devotion I have towards the Supreme Lord, Tata Guru, the same devotion I must have to the spiritual master as well. So I should have intense faith in these two personalities, the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master. That's why we always say Guru and Krishna's mercy. So tasyaite katita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. So when we do this thing, when we have complete faith on these two personalities, the Deva and Guru, so then what happens? Tashyate katita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. Prakashante, the knowledge actually arises. The spiritual knowledge, it cannot be studied like the material knowledge. Just now also we are discussing certain aspects. So we may get some particular understandings cleared, but actually what is happening is that we are discussing spiritual subject matter, which is transcendental subject matter, which is, by doing this, the Supreme Lord is getting pleased, and by doing this, the spiritual master and the great personalities, great acharyas are getting pleased. And because of the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, the Lord actually reveals the knowledge in our heart. That is very important. So if we don't have dependence on the Supreme Lord, if we don't have dependence on the spiritual master, this knowledge will not be revealed. This is one aspect we have to we have to focus a lot in our practice of Krishna consciousness. Either we approach the scripture, or we approach the holy name, or we approach anything that is spiritual. We approach our deities in the morning to offer arati, to offer prayers, and then we do so many spiritual activities. We approach Mahaprasad, right? So Mahaprasad is a spiritual entity. So can I have Mahaprasad? Can I chant the names of the Lord? Can I access the scriptures? The answer is no. I don't have the qualification to access. Then how I can access? By the mercy, the mercy of the spiritual master, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. If they become pleased upon me, they can actually reveal, they can actually open up. Prakashante Mahatmana. So there is another thing that is there. Sri Krishna Nama Charitadi. So no. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyai sevan mukha hi jivado swayam eva spuratyada. So we should understand that these entities, these spiritual entities, I don't have any capacity to access them. I am completely dependent on the mercy of the spiritual master, completely dependent on the mercy of Panchatattva, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Radha Krishna. So I'm dependent on their mercy, and how much they can reveal, how much they will reveal to me, only that much I can know, right? So it is not that I have got hold of Bhagavatam now. No, I have got hold of Bhagavad Gita now. I am going to take the juice out of it. I am going to have everything. No, I'm going to understand everything. No, it is not possible. I need to, if I have the book in the hand, if I have the mala in the hand, I'm trying to approach the holy name, I'm trying to approach the scripture. The first thing is, we should offer a prayer. Krishna, it is you. The holy name is not different from you. The scripture, the words emanating from your mouth or emanating from the pure devotees, it is not different from you. And I don't have any capacity to understand. I don't have any capacity to access. I cannot even experience what is happening. No, it is only by your mercy. Oh Lord, please be merciful to me. I should, please allow me to actually access, this treasure. Please allow me to have an experience of you. So when we actually pray in this way and enter into, so then if Lord is merciful, if Lord is, if we have offered the prayer with right kind of an attitude, right kind of right kind of an intention, and if we manage to move the Lord, if we manage to melt, or what to say, if we manage to move the Lord, so then the Lord becomes merciful. Then the Lord actually prakashante, mahatmanaha. So for great souls, he actually it is mentioned, unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. Prakashante, right? So this is very, very important. So we are trying to understand the absolute truth. We are trying to understand and achieve the Supreme Lord, who is the topmost understanding of the absolute truth. So, and to do that, we cannot force get this absolute truth. We cannot force get this understanding. We have to kneel down. We have to offer our prayers. We have to please the Lord. We have to render our service. And then we have to hope that the Lord will become pleased. And how can I have this hope? Because the Lord is very merciful. I can have this hope. He is very, very merciful. He will become merciful to me. and he will reveal himself to me. So we should have complete confidence that he will definitely reveal himself to me, right? So this prakashante, it is not, no,